I keep telling you I don't have the pencil. I don't make the rules, but anyway, I'm Tazz, and I'm here to host a program with a bunch of ball bags. I got a bunch of guys that wants to share their opinion, I guess. Let's start with Hunter. How you doing?
I keep telling you, Peter, don't call me Hunter. Anyway, I'm doing great because I'm the Gam. I'm the Gam of games and the person of persons, and don't look at me that. I'm definitely not worried that Vince McMahon is going to take over my creative position. I'm not scared.
Bro, I gotta ask you, what's going on with Vince's new mustache? When I saw him, all I could think was this bag just gave himself a diddler's mustache, bro. Pedophile Stash Jones over here.
I don't want to get into that right now. I got more important things I want to talk about. Like me, the Gam, the king of games and the dude of dudes. Understand what I'm saying, Peter?
My name is Tazz, and sure, bro, whatever you say, my next guest is a Booker T type guy, I guess. Booker T, how you doing?
Hey, Peter. Booker T here, and I got one thing to say. These young wrestlers are ungrateful, man. Not one person has come up to me and asked for advice. What's wrong with these kids, man?
Maybe they don't want to learn how to get beat up at a supermarket, but I digress. Anyway, my next guest is a really horny dude. How you doing, Jim Ross?
Thank you for having me, Peter. I'm definitely very horny and need to bust one out, so let's make this quick. I'm all bricked up.
Bro, I would get upset that you called me Peter, even though you definitely know my name is Tazz because we work together, but you're so horny these days I kind of feel bad for you, bro. Anyway, my next guest is a guy I used to work with on SmackDown doing commentary. He's not a ball bag. He's Michael Cole. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Tazz. I haven't heard from you in a while because you work for the enemy, but it's always good to hear from you. You still hanging out in pockets or purses. I remember back in our SmackDown days, you used to love spending time in my pocket. And I'm like, Tazz, we need to call match. But you would always say I'm having too much fun. Bro, just give me a second, good times.
Bro, why would you bring that up? I appreciate that you remembered my name is Tazz, but I don't need that store out there. Anyway, anybody else want to show up?
Hello, it's the Undertaker. Can I be involved in this discussion?
Holy crap, bro! When did the Undertaker get here? Yeah, bro, you can say whatever you want.
Thank you, man, who I am not familiar with. I have a lot I want to get off my chest, so buckle up, Teddy. That's a reference to a thing I did. Did you guys get it?
It's nice of you to join us, Mark. And yes, I got your little reference, but we already have a Mark around here. His name is Peter/Tazz. Suck it, Peter Tazz.
I didn't forget about you bringing up that time I got beat up in a supermarket, Peter. You think that's funny, man? Don't make me use my magical Booker T powers to put you in your place, dog.
Bro, I'm just a regular Tazz trying to do a Tazz show, so can you stop bringing up magical powers that you don't have or whatever? Anyway, this is my first question to the panel, and I use the word panel subjectively. What do you guys think about the state of pro wrestling today?
Let me take this one, Tazz. Pro wrestling needs more beckoning matches, and matches involving women taking their clothes off. It's just the natural way, Tazz.
I didn't realize Jim Ross was so horny these days. But anyway, the state of pro wrestling is fine because Mustache Vince will make sure everything is okay. I have complete trust in Vince McMahon with a mustache. He will make us all safe.
Michael, you sound like you're in a witness protection, but I digress. Anybody else want to chime in?
I got one thing I want to say, man, who is running this program that I don't know. I've been seeing these young guys in the locker room lately. These guys like to play video games. That's unacceptable to me because back in my day, guys had knives and guns and crossbows and shuriken throwing weapons, and it was a different time when men's was men's. Now men's are not men's because they too busy with their juice sticks and their video games. It makes Undertaker sick, and I want all video games to rest in peace.
I agree with the Undertaker. These young wrestlers only care about video game. Back in my day, if you showed up with a video game, you was a Lord dog, come on. You know I did that once. I showed up backstage with a Nintendo 64, and I had a WCW game loaded up, and they called me a nerd. Booker T is not a nerd, man, so I destroyed my Nintendo 64 and never played video games again. Shucky ducky quack quack.
Bro, they bully you to not playing video games, but I gotta say that's hilarious. Not happening to Tazz, which is me. I play whatever video games I want. If I want to jump on a mushroom or collect some rings and get sucked up into a tube, that's my business.
The problem is that we are breeding a bunch of soft wrestlers. They need to get almost stabbed and diddled so that they can become men's. You're not a man's until someone tries to stab or fondle or diddle you. The Undertaker way. If I'm being honest, I only hit video game because I have terrible hand-eye coordination. My daughter made me look like an asshole in Dance Dance Revolution. So I want to destroy all video games.
Bro, that's hilarious. Dance Dance Revolution Jones here, but anyway, I want to ask all you begs this. Who's the best wrestler in the world right now, like currently, bro?
I'll take this one, Peter. I created the best wrestler in the world, and his name is Seth Rollins. Nobody can hold a candle, to him. He's the wrestler of wrestlers, and nobody is better,
I have to disagree, Hunter. I think the best wrestler in the world is Kenny Omega. He is better than Seth Rollins in every way. I'm about to explode.
That's where you're wrong, horny man, Jim. If Lenny Omega or whatever his name is was a good wrestler, I would have signed him to a main roster deal. But he wasn't good enough, and he never will be.
If you ask Michael Cole, the best wrestler in the world is obviously Roman Reigns. He's been the champion for almost 3 years, and nobody can beat him because he's the best, and Vince with a mustache, he was right to shove him down our throat for almost 10 years now.
Hey, Peter, the best wrestler in the world is Braun Breaker. No other, no bread, just meat.
Booker T seems to be malfunctioning, so who do you think is best wrestler in the world, Undertaker?
Thank you, man. I definitely don't know and never met. In my humble Undertaker opinion, the best wrestler in the world is Brock Lesnar. He ended my undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and unlike these young kids in the locker room, he doesn't play video games. He's a real man like me, and every wrestler under the age of 46.
The best wrestler is obviously my son Hook, but I digress. I got another question for you, ball bags. Who is the worst wrestler in the world today?
That's an easy one, little boy, Peter. The worst wrestler is probably someone in All Elite Wrestling. I'm gonna say that QT Marshall guy. He seems like he sucks.
That's where you're wrong, Hunter. The worst wrestler is obviously the Almost guy. I think his name is Almost, but that guy sucks harder than my favorite porn stars, oh man.
That's where you're wrong, horny Ross. Almost is a great wrestler and the perfect big man. You're just jealous that your big man sucks compared to our big man. I'm surrounded by haters.
I have to agree with Hunter. The worst wrestler in the world is probably someone from All Elite Wrestling. Probably that Orange Cassidy guy, because the crap that he does where he pretends to not care would never play with mustache events.
Orange Cassidy does have some comfortable pockets, though, I gotta say. Anyway, what about you, Booker T? Who do you think is the worst wrestler? And please do not bring up someone from the New Day.
The New Day is the worst wrestler in the world, Peter.
Bro, that's a faction like there's 3 guys in the New Day, so can you at least please pick one, Booker?
Fine, Peter. All 3 members of the New Day are worst wrestlers in the world. I'm sick of all that dancing and talking about unicorn. Come on, man. Every time I see one of those New Day guys doing that crap they do, it makes me want to hop in Stone Cold Steve Austin's magical time ship and go back to the time when Mustache Vince, although I guess he wouldn't have had a mustache at the time first thought of the New Day gimmick. And I would have came and then told him not only is that a terrible gimmick, but you'd fire those 3 clowns. Fuck New Day.
But we got a weird, sick fascination with the New Day. I happen to like Kofi Kingston, Big E, Ink Stevie Awards, but I digress.
Why would you say their names, dog? When I hear their names, it makes me want to take 2 railroad spikes and drive them into my ears until there's no more sound in Booker T's world.
Bro, I'm gonna ignore you for the rest of this, but anyway, what about you, Undertaker? Who do you think is the worst wrestler?
I'll tell you, I think is the worst wrestler stranger I've never met. It's every wrestler under the age of 40. All they care about is video games and social media likes and being popular on that thing my daughter talks about. I think it's called Tactic or something like that. Back in my day, you had to prove yourself by dodging knives and diddlers and drugs being thrown in your face. Mans was mans back then, and that's the problem. No more mans in professional wrestling.
That's a good point, bro, but let me counter by saying my son Hook. Hook, he's great. Anyway, I need to ask you, Undertaker, to narrow it down to at least 1 or 2 wrestlers under 40.
Whatever you say, random man I've never met. I never liked those young bucks. Just a bunch of little men flipping around on their tramp lines. I bet they never got stabbed, or diddled, and I bet they never got drugs thrown right in their faces. They not mans.
I mean, I've never had someone throw drugs in my face either, because that just seems like a waste of drugs. But anyway, I digress. My next question comes from a viewer, and he wants to know what all of your favorite animes are. Like, bro, let this nerd ask this question. I doubt any of these guys even watch anime.
I'll take this one, Pocket Man Jones. I actually have several favorite animes. One of my favorites is Naruto. Think about it. If I was Hokage, if I was president of the Hidden Leaf Village, I would have booked them to be the best. I would make us the village of villages, and I would teach Naruto on not to be a loser. I also like One Piece because pirates are awesome.
I would prefer it if you didn't call me Pocket Man Jones, but anyway, what about you, Jim Ross?
Oh man, my favorite animes are all the ones I see on Pornhub, and it gets so crazy, Tazz. Have you ever seen a tentacle monster have sex with multiple Japanese schoolgirls? I didn't realize I was into that type of stuff until I saw it, and my penis got erect or bricked up.
Bro, you're gonna get me demonetized. Anyway, what about you, Michael Cole?
Unfortunately, my boss, Vince McMahon, with a mustache, he doesn't allow me to watch television programming because it only gets in the way of my commentary. And who am I to tell Vince with a mustache that he is wrong?
Hey, Peter, ask me what my favorite anime is.
Please leave me alone, Booker T.
My favorite anime is the one where the New Day gets lost in the woods and eaten by alligators. I could watch that show all day long, man.
Bro, that's not even a real anime, but it doesn't matter because I'm ignoring you. So what's your favorite anime, Undertaker?
I think all anime is trash, stranger I've never met. Now you like the stuff, Hunter. It's making your superstars soft. You should let me come in and teach them how to get stabbed and how to do drugs and how to be humiliated to the point where they become mans.
While I appreciate that you want to help, Mark, I would prefer if my superstars didn't get stabbed and become drug addicts. Anyway, you need to understand that times have changed. I know that when we were in a locker room, we were dodging knives and katanas and shurikens, just like in my favorite anime, Naruto. But now these kids just want to chill out and smoke some weed and have 5-star matches, and as long as they keep having 5-star matches, I don't care how much weed they smoke or how many video games they play. I'm the game of games and I'm the booker of bookers, and if they guys and girls want to be nerds and play video games, as long as they keep having 5-star matches, I don't give 2 squirts of game juice.
Bro, I don't want to know what game juice is. Sounds disgusting, but anyway, we got another question from some ballbag. What is one thing that you guys would change about professional wrestling?
Let me answer this first. Person who has invaded my consciousness and won't go away. I've been watching modern wrestling for a while now, and one thing I've noticed is wrestlers slapping their leg when delivering kicks. You know what that is, right? That particular wrestler wants that particular kick to sound more devastating. If that's the case, then just kick the man's head off until there is nothing left but a pile of blood and a dismembered head that you can put on your trophy case to remind you of the time that you pissed off the Undertaker. Rest in peace, bitches.
I've been saying the same thing, man. Every time I see a wrestler slap his leg when delivering a kick, it makes me want to grab my shovel and go into my backyard and dig a hole and keep digging until I get so far down I won't be able to hear those wrestlers slap their legs when delivering a kick, and I can finally live in peace.
I feel the same way, Booker T. Slapping your leg while delivering a kick to make it sound more devastating. It's just propaganda created by the far radical left to reprogram your mind into thinking that every time you deliver a kick, you should slap your leg. My father, I mean boss Vince McMahon with a mustache, he told me so, and why shouldn't I believe him?
I might be so horny that I came at least 3 times during this conversation, but then I can't understand why a wrestler would slap his leg when delivering a kick just to make it sound more devastating. It's like if a porn star slapped his penis every time he got into some strange. It doesn't make sense, right?
I'm gonna stop all of you right here and right now. Leg slapping is important because people need to understand, and you guys just don't get it. If I deliver a super kick, it looks cool. But if I deliver a super kick while slapping my leg, it sounds cool too.
Bro, I swear, Leg slapping gets brought up so much that I'm starting to think that I did invent it. Why was I slapping my leg, bro, like I don't even do super kicks? Anyway, I'm going to end this now, so any of you Ian Bags got anything you want to say?
I just want to say that it's been nice talking to you, Tazz, but because of my current obligation, I have to return back to Mustache Vince and resume my duty so that I can make sure he doesn't get mad because when he gets mad, he doesn't let me eat. And it makes me a sad Michael Cole.
Well, that's messed up. I gotta get you out of there, but anyway, who's next?
I got another thing I want to say about the New Day. If I see one of them in the streets, it's on sight. I'm ready to throw down with this bunch, man. I want to beat up a New Day. Let me beat up a New Day, man.
Like I said, I'm ignoring you.
I got one thing to say, me. Having an existential crisis. I wish we could go back to the days where you had to dodge cannibals and serial murderers in the locker room when mans was mans. Now mans is both playing their video games. What happened to the days when a group of guys would drag you into an alleyway and play pin the tail on the donkey with you as the donkey? That's when mans was mans.
I have to say that this has been a waste of my time because I could have been jacking my day even more than I really was. I got off 3 times, but I could have probably got off 7 times if I did have you non-horny people around me.
This is what's gonna happen. This is what we're gonna do. We're going to pretend like none of this ever happened because this has been an absolute travesty. Hunter out, bitches.
Bro, this reminds me of that time I was going grocery shopping, me and bag. Jones lady showed up and thought I was a baby. I'm trying to explain to her that I'm not a baby, I'm Tazz, but he was having none of it. Then I tried to call Hook. He answered this time, but when I told him what happened, he laughed and hung up. Damn kids. So social services shows up and they're like, why, is the kid grocery shopping by himself? And I'm like, I'm not a kid, I'm Tazz. I was a suplex person or something, I don't know. And I just want to buy some eggs and milk without being confused for a child. Anyway, I'm Tazz, and I'll definitely be going to therapy. I'll see you bald bags next time.